On DC News Now at 9, answers wanted following a deadly triple shooting near a District Heights shopping center.
My back was turned and I just heard pop, 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 pop.
The message from police and the search for whoever opened fire. Washington, D.C. littered during Pride.
I've never seen that much trash in DuPont Circle.
Is the city prepared to host millions for World Pride next year?
Hi, good evening, everyone. We are tracking a heat wave across the DMV. I'll show you when coming up.
And black bear beware. An unwanted visitor seen roaming Northern Virginia. Tonight, tips from animal experts about how to keep bears out of your backyard.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us at 9. I'm Tosin Fakile. Chris Flanagan has the night off. This weekend, garbage covering the grass at DuPont Circle after Pride Party goers filled the park, celebrating, dancing, and ultimately littering. Now, that was not part of any official Pride Alliance event. DC News Now's Marielle Carbone live in DuPont Circle. And Marielle, it's looking much cleaner than over the weekend.
Yeah, Tosin, certainly a different scene here today than it was on Sunday. We reached out to the DuPont Circle bid, which has its own clean team, and the bid tells me it was surprised by the number of people and also the amount of garbage in the park, given the Pride events weren't actually here. Now, people who were in the park this weekend tell me they were surprised by what they saw. On a sunny Monday afternoon, people filled the park at DuPont Circle, relaxing and reclining in lawn chairs.
It's a central location.
But over the weekend, it was a different scene. Blocks away from the Capitol Pride Parade and the Capitol Pride Block Party, a large group of people ended up in the circle.
People was dancing and twerking.
Wall-to-wall going on forever.
Leaving behind piles of garbage, empty bottles, and crushed up cans.
It sounds about right.
I've never seen that much trash in DuPont Circle.
According to the DuPont Circle bid, the National Park Service, which maintains the land, had a crew of about 10 people clearing the trash Sunday morning. By the afternoon, the park was clean again.
Well, that wasn't a sanctioned Pride event. People can gather. These are public parks.
Ryan Boss is the executive director of the Capitol Pride Alliance.
You know, we focused on what we did on 17th Street. We had probably over 30,000 folks enjoy the reshaping of the Capitol Pride Block Party on 17th.
With more than 2 million people expected to attend World Pride next year, the group is planning to organize more official Pride events. Meanwhile, Frankie Bars hopes cleanup is part of that planning.
We could create more policies, easier cleanup, like during. It's kind of like when you cooking and you like clean as you go.
And the bid tells me that it does plan to do some type of after-action meeting or report working with the National Park Service, the local ANC, and of course the Capitol Pride Alliance, just to see how they can handle things better for next year when it comes to this space. Reporting live from DuPont Circle, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
Marielle, thank you. What a difference 24 hours can make. All right, checking in now with Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb. And Janessa, in Marielle's live shot, we saw people walking around. It was such a pretty day.
Yeah, beautiful day across the DMV. I think later in the day, we started to kind of see this situation. You do have some rain that's starting to make its way across the region. Let's show you this loop. And some of these storms starting to get a little feisty in nature across I-95 corridor. Wonderful start, but kind of this finish here with a slight disturbance. Now making its way across I-95 corridor into Dale City, and some of those raindrops finally making its way into the suburbs of DC and Prince George's County. We'll watch the development here. It does look like there's a little bit of lightning associated with that moisture from Front Royal extending into Montgomery County. Here's temperatures as a whole. Where you're seeing the rain, it is a little bit cooler from Winchester into Loudoun County. You still have the 70s across southern Maryland, but we are going to be a little bit below average for overnight lows tonight. So a very cool start. And then tomorrow by noon, that's our daytime high. We will not get much higher due to that kind of frontal passage. As you're kicking off your day, though, Tuesday looking absolutely gorgeous, mostly to partly sunny skies across the region before a big heat wave starts to enter the DMV. The 90s, they are about to return. I have that full forecast coming up. Tosin.
All right, Janessa, looking forward to it. Thank you. Well, all new at 9, 11 weeks after the collapse of the Key Bridge, the main shipping channel in Baltimore's port has fully reopened. It's great news, not only for the region, but for the entire country. The Port of Baltimore processes more cars and farm equipment than any other port in the United States. Until now, much of that channel has been blocked to traffic. As for what's next, the FBI is still working on a criminal investigation into the lead up of that collapse. Officials have said they hope to have the bridge rebuilt by 2028. Developing now, a man is dead, 2 injured after a shooting this afternoon in Prince George's County. It happened in front of a District Heights convenience store. DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg live near the scene. He's been covering this all day on Marlboro Pike near Brooks Drive. Daniel, that crime scene has been cleared, but there's a lot of evidence police have to sift through.
Yeah, Tosin, there were dozens of evidence markers here in the parking lot of Fresh Market 24/7, which appears to be back open after several hours of being closed because this was the scene of a crime scene. Police say 3 people were shot in the parking lot in front of Fresh Market 24/7 around 3:15 Monday afternoon. Thomas Waddell was across the street.
My back was turned and I just heard pop, 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 pop.
At first, he thought it could have been fireworks.
But it's afternoon, hot, and next thing you know, I was like, this is real. And I just ran in the building.
Prince George's County Police say despite life-saving measures, 1 man in his 20s was pronounced dead on scene. Another man in his 60s and a woman in her 50s were taken to a hospital. The woman was in surgery Monday afternoon, and police said the man was stable but wouldn't elaborate on his condition. Investigators put down at least 90 evidence markers throughout the parking lot.
It's actually all the evidence which has been on the scene, like the clothing items, the shell casings, any of the other items which were left behind by the citizens who were here earlier.
Waddell says this shooting is nothing unusual in the neighborhood.
A lot of kids around here now that they never been physically in a fight altering thing or whatever have you. Instead of fighting someone and getting embarrassed in front of their friend, they'd rather pull their guns out.
And Prince George's County Police are hoping that anybody with information about this shooting comes forward. They don't have a lookout yet for any suspects or vehicles involved in this shooting. We're live in Prince George's County. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Daniel, thank you for that update. Police say a 14-year-old girl has died days after a different triple shooting in District Heights. Officers responded to an apartment on Atwood Street near Rochelle Avenue on May 31st. Inside, they found 14-year-old Kamaya Farrell and a woman shot. They found a man outside the apartment also shot. Prince George's County Police say 14-year-old Farrell died from injuries last week. Officers are looking for information that may lead to an arrest. And chilling new details about the killing of a parole agent in Montgomery County. Convicted sex offender Emmanuel Sewell is charged with the May 31st murder of Davis Martinez. Investigators believe Sewell murdered the parole agent in his Chevy Chase home during a routine check. Now, according to court documents, Martinez's body was found wrapped in plastic bags underneath a bed. The agent's car was parked out front, but his cell phone found near a pair of dumpsters outside the home. At this point, it's still not known how Martinez died. That information expected to come out later on in the investigation. Well, tonight, a few Arlington neighborhoods are on the lookout for a young black bear looking for a new home. People say they've seen and captured pictures of it in neighborhoods from Rivercrest to Bellevue Forest. Max Marcilla shares the advice from Animal Welfare League and the new video of the young bear.
It's not as rare as you might think, but it's certainly not every day you see this out in the wild. This video from the Cherrydale neighborhood in Arlington shows a black bear simply minding its business, wandering around the wilderness, but near the suburbs. What appears to be the same young male bear was also found here, near the intersection of 37th and 38th in the Rivercrest neighborhood, an extension of nature, so to say. Birds, bushes, trees, gardens, and now a black bear. Here at the Animal Welfare League of Arlington, over the last few days, the phones have been ringing, and on the other side, a couple of times, there have been people with the same sort of story. Hey, I just saw a black bear in my neighborhood. What do I do? Well, they say the first thing to do is to stay back. If you're inside, stay inside. If you're outside, just make sure you keep your distance. Importantly, they're urging no one go and actually search for the bear. But if you do encounter the bear, They say the first step is to call here. From there, they alert the Virginia Department of Wildlife Resources and keep tabs on where the bear's adventures lead him.
DWR often are the ones that are actually tracking, the bear's movements, and they're the one who has the data and the statistics. So it's a team effort in that we're all collaborating together.
COO Amy Schindler says the bear is just looking for a new habitat, and there are things we can do to make sure he doesn't think that new home is your home.
Making sure that they keep their dogs on leash, they're securing their trash cans, putting away compost piles, putting away their bird feeders, just so that way it encourages the bears to move on to a better habitat.
Reporting in Arlington, Max Marcilla, DC News Now.
Well, in the district, scary moments when a roof suddenly collapses on Howard University's campus. DC Fire and EMS say a construction worker was seriously injured after a section of the overhang fell on him. Now, this was on Girard Street Northwest near Cook Hall. No other injuries, we're told, were reported. An investigation underway into Maryland crash involving U.S. Senator John Fetterman. It happened yesterday. Maryland State Police say the 54-year-old Democrat hit another car while driving on I-70 near Hagerstown. He and his wife, who was also in the car, were both taken to the hospital. The senator was treated for a bruised shoulder, and the couple was released hours later. Tonight, Fetterman posting a video on X saying they were actually celebrating their wedding anniversary.
The worst anniversary.
Yeah, and not great for your wedding anniversary, but we're both great. And thank you for all of you that you care. Thank you so much. But actually, I'm using frozen peas from the teeter in the yard, and of course, Tylenol.
The driver of the other car was taken to the hospital with unknown injuries. We're told police did not issue any citations.
Ain't no party like a Juneteenth party, because the Juneteenth party don't stop. Help me out, y'all.
And that party happening at the White House, an early Juneteenth celebration kicked off tonight at the White House. There was a concert tonight. Some of the big names headlining the show included Gladys Knight and Patti LaBelle. Juneteenth is observed every year on June 19 in commemoration of freedom for Black Americans. In 2021, President Biden signed a bill making Juneteenth a federal holiday. Well, a D.C. street has a new name tonight, just in time for Pride Month. A portion of 17th Street near DuPont is now known as Annie's Way. The street was named for Annie Kaler, a longtime advocate of the LGBTQ community and the woman behind Annie's Paramount Steakhouse. Today makes the new name official, and restaurant staff say they couldn't be happier.
It's incredible. It's a real reminder that she'll always be part of 17th Street and her legacy will live on. We're really honored and we're so happy it got to be put up during Pride Month. It's wonderful.
A D.C. council member and former mayor Vincent Gray first approved the designation over 10 years ago, but the name change got delayed because the restaurant moved locations. Annie Kaler passed away in 2013.